Well, this is all a bit exciting and or stressful at the same time. G'day everyone and welcome back to the channel. This story starts back in December of 2022 and I was browsing the Grays Online website, which is one of our auction sites here in Australia, and I came across this very sad looking Mercedes 260E from 1990. I'd been following it for a couple of weeks. It had actually been passed in at auction, I think at least twice, which probably meant that it was overpriced. But the price came down to a starting price of $4,900 or something. So kind of not expecting to win this auction, I put in a bid and was horrified to discover that I actually had won this damn car for $4,900 plus fees. Now, it was stuck up in Newcastle. I had been to see it. I had had a look around it. I had started it. I'll show some photos of the car when I saw it up in Newcastle, but didn't really ever expect to win the damn thing. And so I was then faced with the problem of what to do with it. So I decided that it would be quite a good thing to have as a little project car, but I was so overwhelmed by it that I haven't put anything out on YouTube yet, because I wanted to see how far I got with it before embarrassing myself publicly. So the first thing I had to do was actually get it down from Newcastle back to Sydney, and I knew that it had a coolant leak and a completely flat battery. So I got a tow truck to bring it down from Newcastle and deliver it straight to Cam's workshop in Marrickville, because it would need stuff doing, and I thought the best thing to do is get it there, and then Cam can sort out all the mechanicals that are urgently needed doing to get it driving, basically. So the story really starts when the car arrives at CMR Autos in Marrickville, and I go over there and Cam takes me around the car to tell me everything that's wrong with it. On camera, how terrible it is.
I haven't looked at it yet, but a 260E is fairly good because they've got a lot of power. But let's come have a look. So the battery's dead flat, but we'll start it up anyway. I had one of these recently myself.
Oh yeah?
So it sounds fairly healthy. The coolant light's on.
Yep.
So
I was told it had a coolant leak.
we'll need to have a bit of a look into that, which we'll do now. You just stay there for a sec. So a lot of the time on these you'll find the internal heater won't work.
Okay.
There's an electric duo valve here.
Right. Electric what?
They call it a duo valve.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Because it's got dual climate control.
Yep.
Looks like one of the studs on the exhaust is broken here.
Oh yeah.
But someone's managed to get a nut on it.
Just what's left of it. Yeah.
So it's no biggie, but the bump stops are kind of gone.
Oh yeah.
So you might find when you go over a bump, it might bottom out, like the tyres doing here.
Yes.
Because that rubber gives you that last bit of cushioning when the suspension gets to full travel. So your coolant leak's coming down here, so we'll have a better look from on top.
Oh yeah.
You can see the coolant's kind of running out.
Yep.
These oil leaks here, you wouldn't really worry about.
Yeah.
So this lower part of the timing chest,
Yeah.
and the timing chest splits into two sections. The split seal always leaks, and this lower section doesn't actually have a gasket.
Oh, okay.
So it's just sealant. You can stop them leaking, however,
It's no.
it's pretty stock standard. You might need one of those.
Tie rod end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty inexpensive.
Yeah.
And that one. So there's some play in the tie rod there and this centre drag length.
Mm-hmm.
There's a couple of small oil leaks up here that are relatively inexpensive to fix,
Oh yeah.
which is just a couple of power steering hoses.
Yep.
Should probably do them before they get worse.
Mm-hmm.
The coolant leak's coming out of the water pump.
Oh yeah. Pretty standard, I should imagine.
Fairly standard. When these were really common, this was like our number one apprentice job.
Where is it coming from?
So at the lower side of
The
that,
lower side
that's
of
why
that,
we're
yeah.
seeing it run down that side.
Yeah. Yeah.
If we do that, the thermostat's coming out, so we'll probably put a new thermostat in it at the same time.
Yep.
We'll check the head gasket in a sec now that it's warmed up a bit. And these are the couple of hoses I was talking about down the bottom.
Oh yeah,
You
yeah,
can
yeah.
see that they're
Yeah,
cracked
they're
there.
just a bit cracked. Yep, got it.
It's like $15 worth of hose, so it's a good idea. Probably just needs a service and the brake fluid being changed.
Mm-hmm.
So I think you've done fairly well.
Mm.
We drove it earlier, transmission and everything shifts gears well. So here, Simon, I'm just checking to see if there's excessive bubbles in the cooling system.
Yes, of course, yes. Yeah.
If you find a lot of bubbles in the cooling system, that's the exhaust side
It's
of things.
coming through the
Entering the cooling system, they'll usually pop through and you can just see the discoloration in it. A lot of the bubbles coming through now is because there was no water in the cooling system, so it's kind of bleeding
vapor
itself.
lock. Yeah, sure.
And the engine's starting to warm up, so that's good.
Brilliant.
The oil leak that I was talking about from underneath, you can see here, which is extremely common on the 103 motors. You can see that someone's got a whole bunch of blue sealant here.
Oh yeah.
So there's a split seal there. And you'll
Yeah.
notice the more I push on this, the more oil will come out.
Yep.
So a lot of the time, over the years when the head gasket's machined, the front timing cover's not machined.
Right.
So the cover and the head are a different height.
Yeah.
But yeah, once again, the leak's not very bad. We'll probably try to put some external sealer here just to slow it down even more for you.
Yeah.
But it looks quite solid. All the panels look original, where the bolts
Yep.
are,
Yep.
so they
Yep.
don't look like they've had a lot of adjusting.
No.
The doors look like they line up. I guess another big ticket thing on these is rust around the sunroof, so we'll open that.
It doesn't work.
Doesn't work?
No.
Okay.
Thank you very much for that. It's really great.
Yeah, pleasure.
Thanks. I really appreciate it.
So the first thing you should bear in mind after that fairly decent report was that there are quite a few things that needed doing. There was some suspension components, tie rod ends, needed a new water pump, which was quite expensive. I ended up spending way more than I anticipated. It was like 3K to get it roadworthy and to pass its inspection. But we'll come on to that later in future episodes. But the first thing to take away from this episode is that mention of the sunroof not working, because that turns out to be a complete nightmare. But I will save that for a future episode. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this first episode of the Nightmare Project Car from Hell, and I hope you'll stick with me for future episodes as they come out.